Hi, and welcome to the next of our 12 Days of Christmas series. Today is day number 10. Hard to believe, but we are there. And today we're going to make some cute little gift tags that you can use to attach to some of the packages that you've wrapped, maybe gift bags, or even some of the little gifts that you've made that we've been working on for the last 10 days. So with that, we are actually going to be using quite a few of the stamps and dies from several of these sets. So I went ahead and put all of them out. We have one of a kind, which are snowflakes that are just really cute. And the other thing that I like about this one is it has the to and the from on here, and that's great for putting on a tag. We're also going to be using especially the dies from Decorative Trees. Snowy Wonder has some really cute snowflake dies that we'll be using. Reindeer Fun has the Merry Christmas that we'll be using. And this one, as you've seen in some of the projects that we've done over the last several days, has all of the reindeer dies with the heads. And you can make the cute little faces. And then Greetings of the Season. This is one of my favorite tag items because it has these great tags that already have the holes punched in them, and we're going to be using this today for our tag basis for two of the tags. And then finally, Merriest Trees. This is in our annual catalog, but this one has a great, open this up, a great tag die that we're going to be using for the first tag that we're going to be doing today, but it's just a really good size and something that is nice. So with that being said, let's get started on our first tag. Just a reminder, if you would like to place an order of $35 or more by Wednesday, December 11th, I will be sending you a mystery box, and in my email, it will list how much your mystery box will be worth compared to what your order is. So this is a really good deal for you because you get a lot of additional product other than what you actually order from Stampin' Up. So if you use this host code, you will receive this. All of the projects that we're doing today, I will be emailing out the recipe cards for these, and these will go out later today. And in order to receive those, you'll need to be on my email list, and you can join that by going to inkycreationsbylinda.com and joining my email list, and then you will see all of the details for the mystery boxes. They range from $35 on up to however much your order is. And essentially, with 35 and 50, you get ribbons or embellishments or both. Then anything over that, it's like if you spend 75, I think your mystery box will be worth at least 40. If you spend 100, it'll be worth 75 or 80. If you spend 150, it'll be worth even more. So whatever your order is, I will probably send you a good 60 to 75% of free product to go with that. So with that being said, let's get started on our first tag. On this one, I use that tag die that I mentioned a second ago from the Merriest Trees, and I have actually already pre-stamped the Oh Christmas Tree, and then I just fussy cut around this. So let's get started with this one, and we are just going to assemble this. So one of the things that I did on this one is I cut two tags. I cut one in real red and one in white, and we're going to use both of these, and I'm actually going to stamp to and from on the white tag that's in the back. So we're going to use some real red ink, and this is the tag that, or the stamp rather, that comes in the one-of-a-kind stamp set, and it says to and from, and it's just a really nice basic stamp to have whenever you're doing tags. And I like the font that it uses. It's kind of playful and whimsical and just kind of fun. It almost looks kid-like, but it's a great basic essential to have. And so, like I said, I already pre-stamped the Oh Christmas Tree, and then I just fussy cut around the words so that we would have that. I cut out a decorative tree from the decorative trees set using the white glimmer paper. And then from the Reindeer Days DSP, I just fussy cut one of the deer. So we are going to kind of put these together. We're primarily going to decorate the red one, and then the white one will go behind it. So I'm going to use some glue dots just to attach this to the tag. And I know that you're probably wondering, well, won't your glue dots show through? And they might to a certain extent, but some of it will get hidden by the reindeer that's going to cover part of this. But you could use the self-adhesive strips, but as you're going to see in a second, part of our tree is going to be sticking out from the tag. And so that's why I didn't use the self-adhesive sheets whenever I ran these dies. And then we'll put one kind of down here, because one side of this is going to kind of hang off the edge. All right. Okay, so now I just need to pick it up. There we go. Whoops, and see my glue dot stuck right there. You could also use the fine tip glue pen for this. I find that I just like to do it like this and put a few glue dots, because whenever I put the reindeer on, he's also going to help hold down this tree. So then we're going to put him on dimensionals and put him like this, and then that way he will also help hold some of that down. So let's get some of our large dimensionals. I'm actually getting low on these. I may have to break out another sheet before we finish this. So I am using the edges of this. I'm sure most of you already know this, but this way none of your dimensionals go to waste, and you can actually get full usage out of your whole sheet. So we'll put one up here, one here, and one more down here. There we go. Happy Friday, by the way. It's always nice to get to the weekend. I'm sure you're probably the same as we are around here. It just seems like time is going by faster than our to-do list does. All right, and so then we are going to take the Oh Christmas Tree and put this down here toward the bottom. And so I'm going to put one dimensional on the bottom and then put a glue dot on the top, since this is already popped up. So let's get a smaller dimensional for this one. Put it here, and then we'll put a couple of glue dots on the rest of it. All right, and then we're just going to place this on here. You could also, you know, if you wanted to glitter this up a little more, you could also use some Wink of Stella on it. I did emboss this with the Painted Trees embossing folder before I started attaching everything on here. And so I think it just kind of gives it a little bit of added texture, which is always nice. So now what we're going to do is we are going to take this beautiful shaded spruce ribbon. I love this because it's got this sheer edge to it also. And we're just going to cut off a piece that is a little bit long, because I'd rather have it too long than too short, because that way we can always cut it if we need to. But I'm going to take this and string this through the 2 holes to attach these 2 tags together. There we go. And then just slip this through here and pull this. I try to be careful whenever I'm pulling it just to make sure I don't rip the hole. I haven't had that happen yet, and hopefully it won't happen on this video, but that's always a concern. And then to decorate this up just a little more, because I love all the red and white, we're going to add some of our red and white baker's twine that we have. And as you can tell, I have used a lot of this because it's starting to actually get toward the end of that spool. And it's kind of nice because that baker's twine has 15 yards on it. So you get, and I want to say it's only like $5. So you get quite a bit for the amount of money that you're spending. So I'm just going to simply tie this in a bow over this just to kind of give some added flair, I guess, for lack of a better word. My son was watching one of my videos over the weekend. We actually got together. He's like, gosh, Mom, you can't even tie a bow. So anyway, so if you ever struggle with that, don't feel like you're alone, especially whenever you're doing a video. It's always challenging because you're trying not to bump the camera and all kinds of fun stuff. So if you struggle with that, just know that you are not the only one that does. All right, so then here we go. Here we have our bow, and I'm just going to trim this a little bit so that it's not hanging longer than the tag. And then we'll do this side. There we go. And then this is our first tag. So, again, I will be posting all of the different products and stamp and die sets that I used on. It'll be emailed out later today, so make sure you join my email list. So that is tag number 1. We will just set that right here. So next we're going to do tag number 2. So this one is kind of a fun tag that gives us some of that fun Christmas flair that we sometimes have. I did pre-stamp the image on this one also. And so it is just Merry Christmas from the Reindeer Day set. And then I literally just cut on either side of it and then angled the edges. So I figured that would make this go a little quicker and you wouldn't have to wait on me to do that part. So on this one, we are going to, I did not put a to and from on this one. You could put it on the back if you wanted. Or you could just simply attach this to a gift that you're giving someone. And then we have a piece of real red cardstock and then a piece of the Reindeer Days Designer Series paper. And we are just going to glue these to each other. Let me grab my glue. And we will put this together. Do you have all of your shopping done? I have some of it, but I still have a little bit more to do. All right, so now that we have this glued onto the real red, we are simply going to adhere this to our tag. I love this Designer Series paper. It's super cute. They have everything from reindeers to presents to bells and just about everything in between. And it's in all of your bright red and green papers. and it's just really pretty. It uses this granny apple green along with the garden green, and it just really makes for cute tags and gifts. And as you can tell, we've used this a lot. All right, and then what I did was I die cut one of the packages, and I used the Reindeer Fun die set, and I did the bow in the garden green glimmer. That is part of the festive glimmer pack that you can do. So we're going to first adhere this together, and then we will put it on dimensionals on our tag. So I'm just going to use some glue dots on this because I don't want a lot of messy glue. You could use that if you want, but sometimes I just want to use a glue dot just to make it to where glue isn't seeping out everywhere. You could use a tape runner, but I find that the tape runners are wider than this particular die cut. And so that's why a lot of times I'll just throw glue dots on there. So there we go. And then we are just going to adhere this here. There we go. And then we'll stick some dimensionals on the back. And I'm going to angle this a little bit just to kind of put it at a different angle than what the designer series paper is. And then I'm going to take my Merry Christmas that I stamped in real red ink and use dimensionals and put this along the top just to add that fun message. So let's put a couple of dimensionals on it. Put one in the middle and then a couple on either, or one on each side. I think this paper is just some of the cutest, and I love the little reindeer, or I'm sorry, the peppermint embellishments that go with it. It's just all super fun. In fact, we're going to use some of those peppermint embellishments right now. So these are from the Real Red and White Adhesive Back Peppermints. These have been in and out of stock ever since they were first released. So if you go to look for these and they're not there, they are saying that they're going to come back in December. It may be right before Christmas. So, but as a hint, if you place an order by Wednesday, December 11th, Santa might end up putting one of these peppermints inside of your mystery box. So just know that that is a pretty good possibility. All right, and we'll stick one right there on the package, which is always fun. So, and then I'm going to use the Real Red and White Baker's Twine to put a tag on this. And so we are just going to take this and double it up and then run the tails, I call them tails, the ends that are not the loop through first, and then bring that around and then take our loop, and I'm probably confusing you, and then run that through there and then just pull it. And then there's your tag for this one, which is really fun. All right, so that's tag number 2. Let's do our final tag, which is a little bit different. It's using more of the decorative trees, and I just love this set. I think it's so pretty, and I used the Winter Meadow Designer Series paper on this, and then I used the snowflakes from the Snowy Wonder. Let me get my big snowflake. It just fell on the floor. Well, I don't see it, so we may have to just ad lib, which is okay too. I think we have plenty because I cut quite a few. So the first thing I did was I die cut out of the designer series paper the large tag that was in the Greetings of the Season dies. And then this is our scratch paper that we're going to use to stamp love and joy. So this is great for a gift package that you want to use even for just winter. It doesn't even have to be for Christmas. And then I used our silver foil and I die cut one of the trees out of the decorative trees. And then we are going to take the garden green, that's not correct, the white glimmer paper, and we are going to adhere this to here so that now we have the white shimmery top with the silver in the background. So let's put that together first, and then we will put together the rest of our tag. So I'm going to use glue dots again on this just to make it easy, and I can tell you that the glue does kind of, you can feel it if you run your hand across it, but it's not super obvious, but it's enough to where it will at least adhere everything together so that it doesn't fall apart on you, which is ideal. So here we go. And then we are just going to put these together. I can't seem to pick anything up today. I have to keep sliding it. All right. There we go. And you want to just match up the edges and then stick that together. There we go. And then, so that's going to be one of our trees. The other one is I used the decorative tree dies with the silver foil and cut this out. And then I have just a plain white cardstock for this. So I'm going to adhere this here, and then we are going to cut off the bottom part of the tree just with our paper snips. So let's glue this down. And again, I'm using glue dots on this. And I try to just put this in the parts that don't have a lot of holes. One thing that I have noticed, if you don't lay the glue dots flat, it will give you just a little bit of dimension. I'm fine with that for this, but if you want it to lay flat, you'll need to put the glue dots flat, but I'm okay with the dimension on this. So I'm just going to use about 3. It doesn't take a lot. And then we are going to position this. I always start at the top on these and then just make sure everything is matched up and just kind of press it down with my fingers. You can use the adhesive sheets on these. I have done that on a few of the cards that I've made with this set, and it does work really well. I just chose for this to use the glue dots instead. So then we are going to take our paper snips and then just cut along the edge of this bottom of the silver foil. I'm going to try and do this with this light on the side that's pretty bright. Try not to cut my silver foil. There we go. So then now we have our tree that looks like that, which is pretty fun. So we'll throw that piece away. So the way that we're going to put this on our tag is we are going to put one tree here and then put the other one about right here, and then we will position some little snowflakes around and put our love and joy at the bottom. So this is, we'll put the snowflakes on last. Let's go ahead and adhere these, and then we will do the stamping. So I'm just going to use seal on the back of the big Christmas tree. And again, you can use any colors that you want. I wanted to make this more of a winter tag and not just for the holidays. because I thought it'd be pretty if you're giving someone a birthday gift that has a January birthday, or something like that. And just kind of adhere that down. And then I'm going to use dimensionals on this one to kind of pop it up, just to give it a little bit more height, especially since it's overlapping that other one, and it's a little bit larger. And then I will use some glue dots on the part that's going to overlap. All right, and then pull off the tops. All right, and then we are just going to take this and kind of position it right here and push that down. And then we are going to take our stamp that says Love and Joy, and we are going to use Misty Moonlight ink, and this is boho blue that we're stamping on. And so we are going to just ink that up, and I'm just going to stamp it along the bottom so that I can trim around it. There we go. And then use my snips and kind of cut around this. And so we'll just angle it here. And then just try to cut it straight. And then angle it here. There we go. So then we just have a little label that looks like that. So now I'm going to use dimensionals and pop this up and put this down here toward the bottom. I think I'm going to trim just a little bit off the bottom here, just to make it a little more even with the way the top looks. There we go. And now it's not quite as large down there. So then I'm going to use a couple of dimensionals on the bottom and use the small ones. I think the paper that's in this Winter Meadow Designer Series paper is so pretty. It's, you know, the paper that I used here was just kind of a blue background, but this is the back side of it with all of the berries and the leaves. It's just beautiful paper, and it makes great winter cards and tags. Okay, and so then now we have a bunch of these snowflakes, and so I am going to use glue dots to attach these, and I am actually going to flip them over so I can put glue dots on them. I think we're just going to use about 3. I used the Snowy Wonder die set to cut these out of the white glimmer paper. And, you know, you can make a bunch of these and use them for like a shaker card, which would be cute. We also have the little snowflake embellishments that you could use, but I wanted to add a little glimmer. So that was why I die cut these out of the white glimmer paper instead of using the snowflake embellishments. I just think they're so pretty, and they're just kind of dainty, and I don't know, just add a little something without being super blingy on you, which that's good too sometimes, but I didn't want that for this. All right, so I'm going to put one about right there. I'm going to put, if I can pick it up, there we go. Put one maybe up here, and then put the other one maybe down here a little bit. Actually, I might move this one up just a little. There we go. And then that just kind of adds a little something without it being, you know, super busy. And then I'm going to use some of our whoops, wrong roll of ribbon. I'm going to use some of our, I don't have it on the roll. I think I was running out and this was about all I had left. This is the silver and white sheer ribbon and it's just gorgeous. So I'm going to cut a piece of that and then run this through this tag. So again, I'm just going to double up on this. And again, you could use the to and from if you have that, and you could place another tag behind this, because since this one has the designer series paper on the back, you might not want to stamp on top of that, but you could put an additional white tag behind it and do it that way. And then we are just going to feed this through our loop. I say I am. Let me see if I can get this. There we go. And then just kind of pull it. And then now we have another tag that's just really kind of pretty. So these are the 3 tags that we made today. And so again, if you want the recipe card to make these, please join my email list at inkycreationsbylinda.com, and that will be emailed out later today. And if you would like to place an order to get a bag full of goodies that's a mystery box, you can place an order using this host code and do that by Wednesday, December 11th. And I will send you a mystery box that will be full of fun goodies. And like I said, there might even be some peppermint embellishments in there. So thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.